Are you a high school basketball player that wants more confidence in your game? Making less mistakes that are caused by all those little bad habits that you may have developed and turning those into good habits are key to giving you more and more confidence in the way you play. And the off season is the best time to change bad habits to good habits. So today, I'm going to share one of those bad habits that you just need to break, and also tell you about how even NBA professional players struggle with the same bad habit that's nothing more than a turnover waiting to happen. Let's jump in and discuss. Welcome back to Heart Smart Together. I'm Coach Dave. I'm here every week to help basketball players become the smart, confident players that coaches love. So if you have followed me for any period of time, you probably know that I live in the San Francisco Bay Area, and that makes me a Golden State Warriors fan. And you'll probably also know, if you followed this channel, that I don't use a lot of professional NBA plays, examples, to help you become a high IQ, smart, confident player on the court, because the NBA game is not full of great fundamentals. It is not really a product of fundamentals, and a lot of times it's not really a product of high IQ basketball. That's why I like to use, college and high school examples more often. But with that said, I still watch the NBA, I still watch the Golden State Warriors, and they are in the playoffs, and they just finished up a playoff series against Houston in the first round. And during that series, I saw one of their players with one of the habits that drives me and a lot of other coaches crazy, okay? And it's a bad habit that you, as a high school player, have the ability to change into a good habit if you've developed this habit. And a lot of players have developed this bad habit. But this habit will cost your team possessions. It might cost your team games, because while the bad way of doing this, it might end up in a spectacular play, it doesn't consistently end up in a spectacular play. And I want you consistent. I want your confidence to grow because you make good fundamental plays, and therefore you gain the confidence of your coach, for instance, because you save your team possessions, don't cost them possessions. So I thought, what a great teaching point, even though it's from the NBA. Now, before I get it started on that bad habit and how to change it into a good one, I always like to give you a free gift for joining me today. So feel free to download the 8 skills that coaches love to see in players. This is a checklist that you can download, and it gives you some ideas of how to start implementing those skills for yourself. And I'll put the link in the description below, or you can simply go to hardsmarttogether.com/intangibles, and I'll be sure to get you that checklist of skills. So, what is this bad habit? Well, before I get started on the bad habit, I also want to tell you the Warriors recently traded for a very fundamental player by the name of Jimmy Butler. You might be a fan of Jimmy Butler's as well. But he's known in the NBA as being a really high IQ player. And it is funny how high IQ players are typically really fundamental players. And if you watch Jimmy Butler play, he is a very fundamental basketball player, which equates to him getting a reputation as a high IQ player. Now, he's a high IQ basketball player as well, but a lot of that comes from his fundamental development and his fundamental play. So I wasn't the only one that was being driven crazy by witnessing this bad habit of one of his teammates. In fact, in a post-game interview, he expressed the same feeling I was having. And why don't I don't want to put words in Jimmy Butler's mouth, so why don't we just take a clip from that interview and he'll tell you how frustrated he was with this bad habit as well.
And you got to live with that. It is frustrating to not get the ball, but we just got to stay in the fight, box out, have some technique, and stop patting the ball like I be doing and just go grab it with two hands. And, buddy, stop trying to dribble the ball. I hate that.
So as Jimmy Butler illustrated in that interview, when pursuing loose balls, the bad habit you don't want to get into when pursuing loose balls, when pursuing loose rebounds, is to go and tap at them and start dribbling immediately. Picking up loose balls on the dribble is one of those bad habits that you need to get out of your game, because while, like I said, it works sometimes it can lead to some spectacular fast break play, a lot of times it just leads to a turnover. It leads to giving the other team easy opportunities, and you do not secure that possession for your team. So as Jimmy Butler talked about, don't pick the ball up on the dribble. Don't tap at it. Don't swipe at it. Go pursue loose balls, pursue loose rebounds, pursue the 50-50 balls, and pick it up with two hands. Be in that strong position. We had a video, I don't know, maybe about a year ago. You can look back at the videos. We had a video we talked about pursuing loose balls and putting the ball in a strong position, because loose balls, everybody's swiping at it. Everybody's pursuing it. There's a lot of hands in there. So instead of trying to pick up the ball on the dribble, and as Jimmy was frustrated with his teammate, this was a habit I saw in a couple of games where this player was doing this over and over and over again, and it cost the Warriors possessions in critical NBA playoff games. And I don't want them costing your team possessions as well. So how can you, as a player, maybe who has this habit of picking up loose balls, picking up loose rebounds, picking up 50-50 balls on a dribble, how can you break that habit? Well, in the offseason, one of the best times to change bad habits to good, implement a little, what I like to call a reminder drill, okay? And now you can do reminder drills at the beginning of your workouts, throughout in the workouts. You can do them before AAU games. You can do them before open gyms. You can do them just a few times each day. But you're trying to remind yourself the good habit you want to develop. So just take a ball, toss it out like a loose ball, and then pursue that loose ball relentlessly and grab it with two hands. Put it in a strong position. Chin the ball. Then you can start dribbling. Then you can start the break. Then you can look up the court. We've talked about a number of different things you can do once you secure the possession, but the most important thing is to secure the possession with two hands. Do that, 5 times before you play in a summer league game. Do that 10 times during a workout, okay? You want to get in that habit, and habits are only created by, now this is a habit you need to change, maybe from a bad habit you have to a good habit, but it's only developed by continuously doing it. So do it in your practice. Put this practice drill, this reminder drill into your list of things that you're going to do in the off season, and eventually it will become habit. And notice, really do this in your summer league games, do this in your AAU games, do this in your pickup games, whatever it is. And you'll notice you're securing more loose balls. You're protecting that possession for your team. And all of a sudden your coach is going to go, man, they are really a high IQ player. They're a really fundamental player. Look, they don't make that mistake of trying to pity-pat the ball, pick it up on a dribble. Let me tell you, you can change. You have the ability to change bad habits and make them good habits, and that will change the way you play on the court, and it will change your confidence. It will make you a more confident player, and that's what we want for you. So, that's the quick tip for today. Always like the likes, love a comment if this is something that you find useful. And until next week, remember to play hard, play smart, and play together. See you next week.